This is a quick video on putting together a monthly marketing budget for a commercial cleaning company. And this can apply to commercial cleaning, specialties, commercial carpet cleaning, janitorial services. And what we're focused on today with our marketing budget template is keeping track of our hours. This is something that we don't always think about. Over here, on the title is our monthly cost, and that's how much money are we physically spending every month, and then the revenue, return on investment. But what we're focused on today is the actual hours. And on our website, methodcleanbiz.com, under sales training, one of our exercises is managing our time effectively. And this is the starting point of us asking these questions. Do we have goals set every month? Do we plan this out every month of where we're going to allot our time? And that's great to ask all of these questions. This is the starting point in sales and marketing, is asking questions. But the next part is to measure it and then optimize and then make changes. That's the whole point of this, is we want to keep track of this, because then we can see what's effective, what's not effective, and either fix it or move it out and find something better. And you could see with our template is over here on the left, we have the campaigns. Over here on the right, we have it broken down to cost, and that's a financial cost, revenue, and hours, and then ultimately what the long-term return on investment is. And one of the reasons that I like to do this is that some activities don't cost a lot money-wise, but they take a lot of time. And networking is one of these, where the cost is maybe $400 a year, maybe $700 for a chamber of commerce, depending on your area, which isn't a lot of money when you break it down monthly. But the real question is, how many hours are you spending? Is it something you're spending 5 hours a month, 8, 10, 20 hours a month? Because we want to keep track of that to get an accurate view of what the return on investment is. Just saying, well, it only costs $400, that wouldn't really give you an accurate view of return on investment, because you're completely ignoring that you're spending 80 or 100 hours of your time every year on this activity. So that's why we want to do it. And if you really want to get into it, you could use a value of what your time is, 50 bucks an hour, 100 bucks an hour, whatever it is, and then times that by the hours. And that's if you really wanted to get into it. Generally speaking, I just like to get a general idea of, I'm spending this many hours and I'm getting this kind of revenue. Another example is with some of these platforms. A lot of times, when I talk to people, they'll say, well, I don't have time for this and I don't have time for that. But some of these social media platforms, you don't necessarily need to be spending hours and hours of time. I mean, some of these, like YouTube, I might only spend a couple hours all month on it. So it can be well worth your return on investment. If you're a janitorial company, commercial carpet cleaning company, and you do 2 or 3 videos a month on YouTube, even if you don't spend any advertising money, even you just spend an hour or 2 hours a month, it can be a nice return on investment, because you really only need to get a couple leads every month for it to be worth it. And if you're only spending an hour or two a month, it's going to be a nice payoff. Not everything we do is going to be this big home run. We also want to invest in some of these smaller investments. It could be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn. I push LinkedIn a lot, and a lot of times people think that they have to spend all this time on it. But I think if you just spend an hour a week, an hour every other week, it could be a nice payoff, especially with LinkedIn, because there's a lot of mid-size and large companies there. So even if you spent 4 hours a month on LinkedIn, it could be well worth it, because even if you get a couple jobs a month, they could be big jobs. So it could be a real big return on investment. So this is just a quick video on when you're putting together your monthly marketing budget, not only taking into account the cost, but also taking into account your hours to figure out your return on investment.